Okay, point number one. I'm going to rotate you slightly this way. Good. So this non-dominant finger is just at the inferior part of the zygomatic arch. And the reason why I put it here is because underneath it, I can't feel it because it's hidden by the bone, but it's the transverse facial artery. So I know if I guard it and I'm 1 centimeter above with the product, then I know I'm in the right spot for point number one. Okay? So this is going to go to the bone. And the injection is going to be 45 degrees, skin, fat, and isn't it interesting that she took all that distance to get there? Why is that? There's the aspiration. It's because she had previous product. Yeah, she's got voluma there. That's why she's wide. So I just do about 0.1, 0.15 cc. And look, it's already starting to blunt the temporozygomatic junction. Now I take that little bolus, and this is the most important part, is to stick like that. So I'm moving it about 1 centimeter laterally, and I'm just going to hold it until I can't feel a little bump anymore. And then I know it went from like something like a Malteser into like a chocolate button, and then I stick the skin to the smash. Yeah, so now it's done now, yeah? And after that, then there's no irregularity in the tissue. Simple. And the molding is so important with the lift. Otherwise, if you don't mold, you don't lift. You're just going to create a series of bumps everywhere. Now we go to beautification point. So we go here, inferior aspect of the maxillary zygomatic fusion, lateral brow coming down, upper alar tragus, there you are. So it's here, there. Guarding the inferior part, so 45 degrees, there, to the bone, aspiration. And then I'm going to inject, I think here I'm going to go with about 0.15 cc because I want to use this sticker and to support the lateral lid cheek junction. So makes a bump, and then what I do with this is I mold superior laterally, but also I'm going to mold now superiorly because I want this to start interacting with a lateral lid cheek junction. That's the key really. Okay, now let's take a look. Look to the ceiling for me. Can you see this degree of laxity and depression here, this sort of descent? Can you see that in the lateral lid cheek junction? So I didn't inject there, I inject here, but because of the surface tension changes that we see with Vicross, particularly Voluma and Volift, this is the result. So now actually, look forward now to the camera, you can see here that the crow's feet line have reduced, smile, okay, and we compare to this side, smile, you see? Look how that they're transecting through the cheek, yeah? Smile, you see it improves them. So we start to get there already. Now, straight back at the camera. Let's find out where we're going now. She has a little apple here, so this is a definite no-go for her. We're going to start injecting more medially. So where, to correct the tear trough, do I inject? There it is. You see this? It's just there. That's my little dot of the material. I'm always going to inject in a superior medial direction, and I'm going to then go through the skin. This is now medial malar fat, there, muscle, and then to the soof. Not touching the bone, aspirating nice and hard, get a nice bubble there, and around 0.05 cc, something like that. So there you see what I do. I'm molding now, there, like this, and shaping it, just to conform with the lid cheek junction. Okay, so now we get this lovely rejuvenation here. We compare now. Look at me, that's it. See the concavity here, and then here on this side, we have the resolution of the tear trough, right? So now we go to number 4. I want this to happen. There. So I want to have a better union between the nose and to the cheek. So 45 degrees, skin, right up against the alar base, and then the piriform aperture here. There. Touch the bone. Now, here's my aspiration. I know I'm safe. But if on the way in, if I skewered the facial artery, I'm not going to be in it, but I may have injured it. So I'll only know when I come out. If I do my injection, nice and slow. You see my pace with the plunger is really slow and easy. And I'll just do this until I see a visual correction. Yeah, about 0.2. So there's no skewering, but now I've got a uniform transition between nose and to the cheek. It's not perfect because it's still a little elevated. So what I do is I'm just going to squish it now underneath the alar dome, and that's going to give some support to the alar. Because remember, with the aging and with the witching of the nose, we want to support it and give it some more cephalic tilt. So I pull it like that in the first place, and then I'm going to go from just behind. This is just barely subcutaneous through the oral commissure, and then I'm going to retract, and then I'm just going to lift. You'll start to see the lift now. Do you see right now? Comes up, and then I just fix it into position, and then that's done. And then I'll just rotate slightly now, and we'll do a little vertical elevation. So again, pull it back so you can see what plane you're in. So this is, again, just subcutaneous, so injection and support like this. Doing a kind of traffic cone arrangement, whereby the traffic cone is on top of its head, so that it's less at the bottom and more at the top, right? Because you're supporting the structure. If you do want to do a little subcutaneous bleb, this is a nice one. Just at the corner here, just inject. So now she has this mouth that's slightly falling, and now it's going up. 4 is in a relationship with 5, yeah, and now a better one. And 5 is in a strong relationship with 6, but it deteriorates through aging. So we're now going to unite the two of them together. So that's the point of these parallel lines, because they run in the same orientation as the mandibular retaining ligament. This is running here. So always injecting anterior to the ligament like this. You see there's a little fat collection there. We avoid that. So do you see the horizontal deformity? Yeah? You don't see it unless you stress the tissue. You can see the vertical deformity, but you need to stress to see the horizontal deformity. So we follow that horizontal deformity from the ligament all the way forward like this, and all the way like this, subcutaneous injections, and all the way upwards like this, subcutaneous injections. So we're sticking with Volift because remember, we're going to go from superficial to deep as I go to the jawline, and now I change my product into Voluma because this is where I want the hard structural support, at the jawline itself. So 6 here is at that the labiomental crease. It's subcutaneous, and then I'm pushing the chin down by injecting here. So I push because I want the surface tension of the material to push the chin away from the lip. And then again, one more time. Okay, so that's Voluma, and you see what it does now? It starts to make the lower lip and the chin into a better relationship, yeah? So we don't get this concavity, and in fact, better than that, what happens is we start to push the chin away. Now we go to the anterior surface of the chin, and then to the inferior surface there. So the two of them have a slightly different approach. So your needle orientation is very important if you get this right now. So 45 degrees for the anterior surface, like this, to the bone. Big, big bubble. And then we just inject. And now what will happen is the chin should come to me. So there's a couple of other points that we would do with the Voluma here now. So remember the sexual dimorphism point, it's in the same line as the alar base. So this is to make her chin now more female. So there, onto the bone, fix, aspirate, and then it only takes about 0.1 cc, not so much. And then again, just conform to the tissue, just like this, perfect. Now we're going to go to number 6, so pre-jowl sulcus, turning, stressing the tissue like this. Always there, see at the inferior margin of the mandible, always at this level. So there, and injecting anterior to the ligament, touch the bone, aspiration. So inject, and normally 1 point will do this adequately. So about 1 cc. And you know, if you're too superficial here, you can actually see this product, which is not always a great thing. Now I want it to be like a bump, because I'm going to take the bump of the voluma and I'm going to push this now anteriorly. Yeah. So I'm already starting the relationship between jowl and chin now is better. So pushing anterior like this. So now what we're going to do is put it into position. So I'm going to level off now, see in the subcutaneous plane, aspiration, 1 centimetre superior medial. This is about 0.15. Voluma. See this little subzygomatic lining, the lower cheek rhytids. Have a look at the crow's feet extension here, up here. So they're non-existent now. And then on this side, big smile. You see like the extension through here, yeah? And the softening of this. If you look at the deepness of these lines here, actually, yeah, they're reduced on this side already, but we didn't even do that bit yet. We're going to do it now. So come this way and then turn. Perfect. Just do a little flick there like that, just to help get it in. So there, do you see the little pop? So that little pop there was where I went through the ligament, and there are other fibers there now. See, they're still attaching here. So don't just prod. What we have to do is do some counter traction and then go through gently like this. Yes, you've got to be nice and careful here, because the patient, she will not like this. So I go towards the oral commissure first, just make a gentle passage again, just counter traction. There you go. So there, I'm all the way through. I just bring the skin, the mountain to Muhammad in a way. So bring it over the top, and then I'll leave 1 little linear thread like this. Then I'm going to go a little bit higher now, and again I've got some slight resistance again with the ligament. There you go, and there. Remember what I said? It's going to be most at the top, less and then least as I go to the inferior part. So here we go, now forward. And I'm at the level of the modiolus here, so I don't want to give too much volume. This is all of these little 3-4 lines, they're going to act like a sheet and work together afterwards. So there, forward, there, just through the mandibular retaining ligament there now, because I want to unite those 2 planes and just come back like this. Now, block the injection point, right? Don't mold it, don't push it all there. Do 1 pass forward, okay? And then do some 2-directional molding like this. So you want it all to spread like a sheet. Like that, and then like this. And then show me a smile, and then relax. So look at, again, do it again. So there's fine lines in skin excess here, and then relax, and then come this way, and then smile. See, the kind of like the accumulation of tissue. It just resists it. Yeah, it gives it some better, better tension at the surface. Good.